YouTube, welcome back to another video and thanks for joining me. So in today's video we're going to be doing another Q&A. So earlier in the week I asked for a few of you to send me some questions and I'll get them covered off in today's video. So first of all, thanks for those who sent in questions and we'll cover off those and give you a shout out today. So I don't think there's any need for any more introduction. Let's crack on with today's video. Okay, now the first question comes from Jessica B. So firstly, thanks Jessica for sending your question. Now Jessica wants to know what animal or is there anything that I'm dreaming of adding into this new room. So for those of you who haven't been following the channel for a while, just over a year ago we moved into this house, changed rooms, and you can check out my old room and I'll put some links in the description for videos around that. Now, there's lots of things I want to get done in this room. Now, we haven't finished the projects we've already got going. So there's loads and loads of things coming. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. But one of the next animals I'm looking to get would be to get another green tree python. Now there is another snake I'm going to get and something perhaps you wouldn't expect given the animals we've got already and the theme of this room. But I'll let you know a bit more about that in time. Now Jessica wanted to know as well, do I have any dream projects? Now it's difficult to say because within the confines of this room there's not much else other than what I've planned that can go in here. But you know, I'm hoping that this channel will survive the test of time and we'll carry on moving forward with it, and that's a different question I suppose. So yeah, there's loads of things I'd love to have and things I think I couldn't have now or I could in the future depending on certain things. But we're probably getting a bit too deep into it. But for now, at the moment, the dream setup for me would be to get this wall finished, get the reptiles and the setups done that we need, get the room finished so we can get a disc escape in, and we can set up everything as we want, redo Bert's enclosure, and get back to a place where we can start focusing more on care and things like that in my videos. So for now, that's probably my dream setup, and I think there's a similar question coming up, so I'll probably answer a little bit more there. So that's helped, Jessica, and thanks very much for your question. Okay, so Aurora Exotic wants to know what are my favourite plants for betta fish. Now, there's quite a few actually, but I think the most important thing is obviously betta fish like blowing bubble nests, especially obviously the males, and they do like to hide and rest in amongst plants. Now, probably Bulbitis is probably one of my favourite, and I've got that in too many betta fish, in Bruce's tank, and he seems to rest and enjoy that and he swims through it. So Bulbitis is probably, yeah, it's probably the number one. So I hope that answers your question. Thanks for your question. Okay, so Johnny Fuller wants to know, how are my discus doing? Do I regret buying Asian discus fish? If I did it all over again, would I do it differently? Would I buy Asian? I think that's what you're asking. So first of all, yeah, we've had some issues with the discus. Obviously we had the discus for a couple of months now, and a couple of weeks ago we had one with a swollen stomach, quarantined it, and unfortunately it passed away. We did try and cure it with some Epsom salts, but there's a whole video on that, so go and check that out. Now, since I have had some sick discus fish and it's been a bit of a nightmare this week, so they're not doing great at the moment. So in answer to your question, do I regret buying Asian? It wasn't the biggest thing I considered when getting them, to be fair. I've obviously researched discus for a long time. I still read care sheets of animals I don't even own because I'm just interested, and animals I'd like to keep in the future. So I'm always constantly reading up on things, and it wasn't an area I considered, but the proof's in the pudding, I suppose. Yeah, I probably wouldn't buy Asian discus again. Now, if I was to do it again, would I buy Asian? No. Have I learned a lesson from it? Yes. Did people tell me to buy Asians? Probably afterwards. I know it was a bit of an impulse buy when we bought the discus, so what are you gonna do? But I have thought about what we're going to do with the tank going forward, and I still want to do a disc escape. Discus is one of the dream fish I've always wanted to own, and we've got a tank ready for them to escape out, but I'm probably going to look at probably Stenka discus in the future. Obviously the care requirements are slightly easier. Obviously they don't need quite as big a tanks as the other discus fish. So yeah, I probably learned my lesson, Johnny. As difficult as it is to learn a lesson in that way, I'm going to do it differently next time. So hope that answers your question. Okay, so the next, I think 3 or 4 questions come from one of my regular viewers, which is Spirit. Now, he's recently done a 180 litre escape as well, and I'll put the link down in the description to go and check that out. If any of you have got tanks you'd like to show off or anything, then I'm always happy to try and promote them on my channel. Spirit's been somebody that's followed my channel for a long time, always comments, likes my videos, and interacts. So if I can help you out, guys, as much as you help me out, then let me know. So Spirit wants to know, what was my first fish? So I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm sure it was probably just a goldfish from the fair. Easy Facebook police. So when I was probably 4, 5, something like that, brought us some goldfish from the fair, and then continuously had goldfish as we've grown up. And how things are a lot different back then. Obviously the internet wasn't around, which sounds mental. And relied on care sheets, and I used to remember me and my dad, especially when we started getting into reptiles, we'd go down to the library and pick up books when they come in the library to read up on how to care for animals, because the information wasn't around. And I guarantee you, when we had the goldfish, I remember water changes are very different when I was younger. Case of emptying the entire tank out, taking the gravel out, boiling water, wash them all off. Oh, it's lovely and clean, filter in tap water. Oh, why are my fish dead? Why is my water cloudy? So yeah, goldfish. And we've probably come a long way since and learned a lot. So let's carry on moving forward. Okay, so Spirit also wants to know, do I have a favorite animal in the rainforest room? And that's a really tricky question, just because I only get animals I really, really want. I only get animals I've researched for a long time, and things that I've sort of planned out prior to getting them. Maybe not so much with the discus. So no, I don't have a favorite. I tend to have more favorite enclosures than favorite animals, but they're also different. Obviously Castro, I can't really interact with her at the moment. I'm working with her, so I'm probably growing a bit closer to Castro in a sense, because I'm working really closely with her, trying to build up a relationship. So that's probably a nice one there. Bird's probably the most pet-like, just because he interacts, he's friendly, he's probably the closest animal in this room to a dog or a cat per se. So bird's really close to me, but then I love sitting watching the frogs, looking at the fish. You just have different relationships with different types of animals. So that was a long-winded answer. So in short, no. So Spirit also asked, how old am I? Okay, I'm 34. How old do you think I was? And the final question from Spirit, he just wanted to know, do I have any other hobbies? So yeah, I'm quite busy, to be fair. I always try to keep myself busy, obviously with the animals, making videos. I also play the guitar, so that takes up some of my time. I used to try and write songs, which I probably don't do as much anymore. I like cooking, do a lot of cooking from time to time. Maybe if you ask my girlfriend, she wouldn't maybe say I do as much cooking as I say I am. But I also do a lot of sort of freelance design work. I like graphic design in general. I do, obviously, as some of you might know, make some of my own t-shirts and things like that. Not necessarily around the channel, like this one, the one I'm wearing now. I generally make fish keepers, reptile keepers t-shirts and sell those. I really enjoy that, and I spend a lot of my time as well as working full time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Are we in focus? Are we in focus? Yes. Okay, so Lee's creature features, now another one that's stuck with me for quite a while, so hello Lee. So Lee wanted to know, do I have a dream pet or dream setup? So again, that's quite complicated, well, I haven't probably made it more complicated than I need to, but I would say, well, we'll go through the list. So reptiles, I would probably say a caiman lizard. Now, I've always loved semi-aquatic animals, as you probably tell. And that was probably a dream animal. I've always loved the look of them. They're very prehistoric, and for those who know me, I love dinosaurs, and that probably got me into this sort of thing, I would have thought. So definitely a caiman lizard, and I'd love to set up that, a nice half aquatic, and then like a terrarium scape above it. That'd be absolutely amazing. Fish. There's lots of little fish and things we're probably going to feature in the channel at some point, but if I had to, sky's the limit. I've always wanted a clown knife fish. Now, a lot of people like monster tank fish. I'm not so into monster fish. I love arowana obviously, but it's probably not on the priority list. But I've always loved knife fish, so I'd probably get a big knife fish tank. In terms of amphibians, there's a lot of newts I like and a lot of salamanders, but I think I've always loved mossy frogs and milk frogs, so that may be a dream. I used to have red-eyed tree frogs, probably wouldn't get back into those, probably did 5-6 years of those. So yeah, so that answers your question, Lee, and if any of you feel like I haven't answered your question fully, then hit me up in the comments section below. Okay, so the last couple of questions from Caleb Holt. Hello Caleb. So he's asked, if you meet the water parameters and the heat parameters for discus fish, do you find them any more difficult to keep than other fish? That's a bit of a loaded question. I don't feel like I'm the right person to ask that right now. I've never kept discus before. Obviously the discus we have and had are the only ones I've ever kept. Haven't had great luck with them. I think we've had some internal parasite issues, which, yeah, happens, but annoying, especially when you love the fish so much. So before they got ill, no, I didn't find them that much more difficult. I used to do just over 50% water change once a week to twice every 10 days. I would feed them on a similar schedule to other fish. So no, I didn't, but then I haven't perhaps got the best outcome to give you the best advice. But there's tons of advice out there online. But again, I know people think a discus is a difficult fish to keep. I know a lot's happened in the hobby over the last, God knows how many years, which probably proves that it isn't. And like somebody mentioned to me on the other questions, probably Stenka discus and European discus are probably the way to go. So check it out for yourself. Okay, so the last question Caleb wanted to know was, what fish would you recommend to either tackle or prevent algae on moss? Now that is a bit of a tricky one. Just because if you have a look in the tank there, I've got a load of spike moss and it's grown out of control, a really good easy moss to try and start with, I suppose. And I've definitely had luck with it anyway. But as you can see, it's grown out loads. It's not that condensed, and that's because it doesn't have CO2 on it. So therefore it does collect a lot of debris, food and fish crap. And then obviously the high lighting then can cause a lot of that to turn into algae, and obviously the algae to thrive. Now, I always think shrimp are the best thing for algae prevention and dealing with algae, just because they can get down in little nooks and crannies and they're always continuously grazing, and that's why I see shrimp in a lot of this tank. Obviously, we've got some cherries up in there. We've got some blue dream in the Ember Valley tank. We've got the Bloody Mary shrimp in the ADA, and also we've got some wood shrimp or bamboo shrimp in with the discus and the angel fish. So I would think shrimp are the best, but if you didn't do that, I would say otocinclus catfish, Siamese algae eaters are really good. Now, a lot of algae eaters don't eat thread algae or blackbeard algae, whereas Siamese algae eaters do. So those are really, really good ones, but obviously they do grow quite big. What else? Plecos, obviously, are a great one. To be honest, when I've kept plecos, I don't find them that great for algae, but I've never kept bristle noses or anything like that. Obviously, we've had the common, the sailfin, gold nugget. So, and I suppose it depends what sort of size tank you want, really. A lot of the fish will even eat little bits of algae, but my top tip would be shrimp and Siamese algae eaters. Done! Hope that answers your question. Okay, I just want to say a massive thanks to everybody who sent in questions today, and I hope I've answered them in the way that you wanted. If I didn't, as I said earlier, make sure you hit me down in the comment section below. I'll pick up on anything I didn't. Again, if you are a new viewer to this channel, if you do a massive favour and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, if you're a regular viewer, do me a massive favour and give me that thumbs up and just drop me a comment just to show YouTube you're enjoying this sort of content and allows me to make more videos like these. But there's plenty of exciting things coming up. More fish, reptiles, setups, terrariums, bioactive, aquascaping. If that's what you're into, check me out. Don't miss the next video. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.